Alright, Milwaukee, you missed the mark. We need to sit down and have a discussion. You just totally dropped the ball. Hey guys, welcome back. Wanted to do a video on where I think Milwaukee totally missed the mark on something. In the automotive industry, they've created a lot of great tools. Their ratchets, very popular. Their stubby impact, their impacts, very popular. And I own them. A lot of them anyways. But I think one of the biggest places they missed their mark, I can hear you neighbors yelling. This video may get good. Anyways, is their little M12 Surge. This thing, I think if they had a 1/4 inch anvil on here, or 3/8, I'd prefer 1/4 inch, versus the hex head. Now I like the hex head for the reason as well that this is better than your regular stubby 1/4 inch impact. Also, with this, the way that it's set up is, I think automotive wise or small mechanics, this thing would be completely and totally awesome if they allowed you to program it. What I mean by that is you have your normal 1, 2, 3 power settings, and then you have the sheet metal setting, which that's cool and all, except the sheet metal, on working on chainsaws, weed eaters, small engine stuff, a lot of times you're going into plastic as well, or very soft metal. That sheet metal setting is strong enough to strip some of those. If they had that to where that could be turned down a little bit, or if they had it set to the way that the right angle impact is, where it goes in and just stops on the first impact, and when you go to take it out, that it would automatically, when you go to reverse it, slow down when there's no load. I think that would be great. So why do I think this is such a great tool on the small engine mechanic side? Is the controllability. This is your regular, I think this is the previous generation M12 fuel. Model number on this is, shoot, I guess I need better glasses or something, 255320. You can see it, put a little note there. Great tool. Not as good in small engine. And I'll try to show an example of that. Now this is on level 3 right now. But so you grab and hold this and you try to control it. That crack, yeah, it stops, but it's pretty crazy, and you can't get just a small little touch. It's pretty wicked, especially if you're going into plastic or something. That's a no-go. I mean, you might as well be doing it by hand, which a lot of times that's what you need to do anyways. But the Surge, on the other hand, even on level 3, we do this the same way. I'm getting it to where you can see this. I hope so. You have so much more controllability. I don't know if you can see that surging, but you can hear it. And it's a lot softer. So you can spin something in and get to that and just slowly control it. That's where I think if the power settings were a little nicer or more customizable, this thing would be a little beast. It already is. I really enjoy using it. I can come up to a stuck screw or something that's seized. That's where the hex head is nice. Put the bit that I need in there, T27 or Torx, or T27 is Torx. Moron. Maybe I should drink less whiskey before I do these. Phillips head, whatever, you can just sit there, pull that, and just start racking it. And see, I'm still able to hold on to that. It's not going completely crazy. Makes it a lot easier to break loose those little fasteners and stuff. This is probably one of my most used power tools just because of that. I didn't go over the model number and everything. Hope you can focus on that, guys. It's 2551, I think. Yeah. The 2.0 is obviously tool only. And then like 2.1 and 2.2 are kits. So, but all in all, it fits into tight places. One thing, if you compared this to the stubby, the 3/8 stubby, I'd take a drink. The anvil is the same height as this. So if you have to put another adapter on here with a 1/4 inch, or 3/8, you're about the length of this entire thing. Harder to get into places. But how narrow that is, that, gets into some stuff. And I like the gun format better than I do the ratchet format. It's just, I don't know, more convenient for me, easier. But the stubby itself isn't as controllable as this is. I mean, they don't make, at least I haven't come across another tool that is as controllable on the trigger made by Milwaukee as the Surge is. If they would let us do some programming to it, kind of like some of the, the Red Link, or I can't think what it is. Guess I better put a note in there for you guys on some of the other tools where they let you control that, like on the impact for tires. You can go in and change those settings. You can change that to, impact so many times. You can change it to be in a different torque range than a normal settings that are there. There's a programmable mode. I would really like to see that as a programmable mode. As a carpentry tool, this works fine. It's, it is quieter, it's smoother, but if you were driving, deck screws all day long or whatever, this little beastie, it's a little louder, but it cracks some stuff off. It's pretty decent there. Now the M18 version just lasts longer, has a bit more power, and a little bit more weight. So there's a point and place for everything. Guys who are invested in this M12 line know exactly why. If you have the M18 line, switching over to the M12s, or adding them to it, not all tools work that well, coming across. They do have some nice options, but not always great options. And like on this particular impact here, I have the 18 volt version, and if I'm driving, floor screws all day long, I grab it over this. If I'm doing a small spot or something like that, I like nice and light. There's nothing wrong with that. Now I think if Nikita helped them with their trigger a little bit, that would even be better. Still wish it was a touch smoother on the trigger. If it was, that would be fantastic. That would be an even bigger bonus. But even as it is, like I showed you, it's very controllable. Holding that on there, you can I don't know of another tool that can do that. Even the ratchet and stuff, this just has a lot better controllability in those smaller jobs, doing the shrouds on push mowers and regular riding mowers, things like that. Working on four-wheelers, taking the plastics off where they're screwed into the backing and stuff. These things work. This is my tool of choice for all of that. I'm sure if you had, some interior work and stuff, smaller items, it speeds up the process but still gives me controllability, almost as if I was using a regular screwdriver. That's hard to find. That's great. If they would have just added to where we could control this, program it, it'd be almost a perfect tool. If they could have that 1/4 inch anvil instead of the 1/4 inch collar, or the hex drive collar, I'd buy that in a hurry. Just don't tell my wife. She thinks I only have one of these in 12 volts. She doesn't even realize there's 2 different ones. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. Please take time to give me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Let me know how I can correct things. All input is good input. Promise I won't get too butthurt about it. Give it a like. Feel free to share it if you feel it can be shared somewhere. That'd be great as well. Cheers. You guys have a wonderful day. Look forward to talking to you later.